your super awesome button.
Yeah, you can look through that. All right, everybody. As Brandon and I discussed briefly some trade technology that's going on over here. Wow, we didn't lose but 5 people during that, so we have some dedicated fans out there, and I appreciate it. What's going on here? Let's recap briefly. My name is Zachary Evans. I'm joined tonight by Brandon Hart. We are the de facto coverage crew for tonight's Friday Night Magic tournament from Lost Legion Games and Comics in beautiful downtown South Charleston, West Virginia. Well, we can talk about fetch lands later. Right now, I'm going to talk about what's going on this game of Magic. We are in round 4. It does say round 3. That's because I have not updated it quite yet. There we go. On the left, I figured it would only be prudent to show Joe Lewis, who's playing green-white midrange. Both of these gentlemen, as we see them fire off a quick game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who goes first. Paper Tiger taking out Rock Lobster. And if you want to win your own playset of those cards, it's very simple, as we've been saying all night. Just go to my Twitter, @ZachSellsMagic. Look for the giveaway tweet, which I made during round 2. Retweet it and follow me for your chance to win. Joe Lewis on the left, he is playing John Ellington on the right. John, been playing here a couple months, and he is on Rakdos Aggro. So, should be, I would tell you right now, that I think Joe is probably severely favored in this matchup, as he is playing main deck Centaur Healers and main deck Thragtusks. Why is he playing main deck Thragtusk? Because everyone is playing main deck Thragtusk.
It might or might not be the best card standard. Your opinions are your opinions.
Yep. So, I'll make a quick tweet here about the round. But yeah, John's going to be up against it here. He's playing a deck with Rakdos Cacklers, Chainwalkers, I think. He's actually playing some, John's one of our more casual players. He's having a good time, doing very well tonight, 2-1. Both these players are 2-1. But he's playing, what's that one card? Is it Hellhole Flailer? Is that the card? We've talked about it before when he's been on camera. It seems one of those cards that you look at and you're like, oh, that can't be standard playable. And then it has a lot of reach. It's the card that you can sack for 3 and it does its power's worth of damage to something. You can unleash it.
No idea what it is.
Yeah, you'll probably know it when you see it. But so green-white midrange versus Rakdos Aggro. That's the matchup we have for you here in round 4. So for those of you who've been watching since the get-go, I appreciate your patience. We took a long time getting here. We started a little late. We did have at least one technical difficulty. Someone has bumped my camera, and I realize, and we're about like 15 degrees off kilter here, which I'll go fix shortly. But we appreciate those of you who are watching, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing, we can, after the first game is over, we can talk about some ways where you can help us out by spreading the word. So, turn 1 Diagraph Ghoul out of John's deck. Joe missing one of his 7 mana dorks. Like I said, we do have Joe's list, so I can tell you exactly what he'll be sideboarding.
Mana dork on turn 2.
He might not have had... Did he play the Sunpetal Grove on turn 1? He may have not had an untapped land. He may have just drawn that... Well, that can't be right. Did he just draw the forest? He would have never kept that hand, right?
No.
Joe's too good about that. Joe is one of our more accomplished players here. He did win last week's... or chopped last week's.
He has himself at 16.
There was the, what's that thing? Deviant Glee, is that what it is?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I think that's what that card is, Deviant Glee. So Joe telegraphing Angel here. So we'll see if, someone asking if there's any Unburial Rights in whose list, I wonder.
Neither one of them have Unburial Rights in their list.
Someone was asking earlier while we were on break, as we see Searing Spear try to take out the Pilgrim. Restoration Angel saves it. Someone was asking while we were taking a break there if we alternate between draft and standard. We do not do that. We have been trying to get more drafts going, simply because there seems to be a need for that. We've started to do, or at least next Thursday, we're going to have a first casual draft. Did you see that? Don't know if you're a draft guy or not, but a lot of people are into that. So we're going to try.
I've only ever drafted once.
Well, when we draft on Friday nights for FNM, we get a lot fewer people And so it's just bad business to turn people. People like to play Standard, so we don't want to.
Thragtusk comes down for Joe.
Yeah, Thragtusk comes down. Oh, the question about Unburial Rights was, is he playing? Is this a green-white deck or is it the Junk Reanimator deck? Because Joe does play both. This is his just green-white. What is that card? Dagger? Is that like the Dagger Drome Imp or whatever? So we're going to spear the first of what will undoubtedly be many Thragtusks making an appearance both in this game and the rest of the tournament. If someone's a little bit surprised to see Deviant Glee, I did say that. I also did say that John's one of our more casual players, and so just deal with it. If you don't like it, just deal with it. He's 2-1 tonight. He's having a good time. That's what Magic should be about at the FNM level.
I agree. People take this game way too seriously.
Yes, we are not in the top 8 of Pro Tour. That should be obvious because I'm sitting in a broom closet in the back room of a card shop in South Charleston, West Virginia. When are they going to have a Pro Tour broom closet? Is that coming up?
I think
We can at least start off
December 1st.
We can at least start off with Grand Prix broom closet.
Do Grand Prix back.
Grand Prix
South
broom
Charleston.
closet.
Watch everybody show up to Carolina.
I should get Griffin Valentine to make me a parody shirt Grand Prix broom closet. Are you familiar with Griffin Valentine, aka Justin Treadway? You are familiar with him? I'll make a note. He does some hilarious stuff. I believe he did the Nope. Didn't he do the Nope?
I think so.
Card sleeves with the Jace. He also did the Faxamundar, like metal shirt, and the Polarian Academy shirt as well.
Cards, stuff that you can just wear and look cool, and people don't know.
It's very clever. He also did a fair number of the, I believe, the tokens from Star City Games.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did some of those. The deck boxes and the tribal stuff.
There's an Armada Worm on.
Yeah, well, I've been talking about nonsense. Armada Worms come down and started to wreck house.
So this game, and he just
1,
took
2,
5,
3,
6,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it drops into 11.
That's solid.
That seems like a good play.
8.
I don't know
how that math is going for me.
We may have missed damage from previous things. Can we get a Liam Neeson cameo?
If you can get him here, we will put him on camera.
Oh, we're getting commitments from people from driving all the way from New England if we do have Grand Prix Broom Closet.
We'll hold you to that.
I really do, yeah, we also getting clarification that no one was, the particular comment was not necessarily derogatory about the Deviant Glee. It was just surprising, and I agree. So my apologies for assuming the worst there. But it is unfortunate that we did not. That we do live in an area which is, although I am born and bred and corn-fed here in West Virginia, and I enjoy living here, but we are not very regional to anything. We are a long way from. We're a short drive to a lot of places, but a long drive to most of the big places where people live. Like I said, we're 10 hours from Chicago. We're 12 hours from D.C., 10 hours from Philadelphia.
12 hours to get to D.C.?
I'm in New York, not D.C. It takes 6 hours to get to D.C. because you have to go up and around the mountains.
Yeah. You have to go up through Morgantown,
you have to go to Morgantown,
down through Pittsburgh, and it's annoying.
Yeah, so...
Pittsburgh's the closest major city.
But because a lot of people have actually commented before and say, how can, where is this? I might swing by. Actually, we have more than a couple people say, hey, I'll swing by the store when I'm at Grand Prix Charleston. Well, Grand Prix Charleston is in a different state, because that's in South Carolina, unfortunately. But if we ever do have, we've talked in the past, we have run Grand Prix trials here before. I don't see things like PTQs being completely off the table if we develop enough of a base here. So hopefully we can do that. We'll be doing. Someone's asking in the chat. I believe. Was that the gentleman or I shouldn't say gentleman, but individual who was asking about the Princeton and Beckley store? Yeah. I think they are doing FNM on Black Friday. The question is whether or not we will be having an event the day after Thanksgiving. We have the last 2 years. Actually, the very first tournament that I ever played at Lost Legion Games was 2 years ago, the day after Thanksgiving.
That's crazy.
We were doing 4-round tournaments with no top 8 at the time. I played Quest for the Holy Relic, and I went undefeated. And I beat a Rug Jace deck in the finals. I was so thrilled. It was a lot of fun. Quest is a very fun card. If you're not familiar with Quest of the Holy Relic, if you missed that era, it might be fun to go back and look at that card. But I believe that they are doing that. I can get clarification for that. I'll make a note to put it in our recap post, which will be on Facebook tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure the store will be open, and if the store is open, I'm sure they'll be having FNM.
I feel like every store should just be open on Black Friday, because that's when everyone wants to spend all their money, so yes.
Yeah, Tom is clarifying that it's 6 hours from Raleigh-Durham, so that gets you to North Carolina, and then another couple hours down to Charleston from there, so like 8 maybe.
It's not too bad, I guess. It's straight interstate all the way down, so...
So, someone's also talking about the playmat on the right. That's John's playmat. I think
That is a Blood Crypt.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that you could buy. They do have playmats for all of the new dual lands, I believe. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
So, check that out. Yeah, so feel free to comment in the chat or ask any questions. It gives us something to talk about. And since we're running 55-minute rounds tonight, it's taking forever, and we're having a lot of quick games. I have a feeling that 10 minutes into this round, we're going to have another quick set of games. So feel free to send us questions. We try to put as much Magic under the camera as we can. We know people don't necessarily want to watch us talk about Magic. They want to watch Magic. But we are limited by the availability of players and where they are in their various matches and how long the games go. I never know how long the games go. I have noticed I have started to pick or not pick certain players because I know the deck archetypes that they are playing, and I try to make sure that they are not over very quickly.
Yeah.
Because
that's really not fun for anybody.
Well, I mean, I don't want to single them out by any means or deny them the ability to play on camera should they want to. But specifically, some of the players who play the aggro decks that are persistent top 8ers, I figure no need to show them in the first 4 rounds or first 5 rounds. We'll see them in the top 8.
The last 5 minutes.
Yeah, because in the top 8 it doesn't matter. When the round's over, we just move on. By that point, it's just me, you, and like 10 other guys in the store. We can do whatever we want.
That's true. It's very true. Usually I'm the strangler hanging around. The only guy left that didn't make top 8 just running around doing God knows what.
Well, who knows? I mean, if we had better things to do, we certainly wouldn't be here in the broom closet, but...
It's usually a very fair accusation.
We are back at it. I should update the game as... Whoops, almost put the wrong winner. Joseph up again with his green-white mid-range deck against the Rakdos aggro of John Ellington on the right. So, turn 1 Diagraph Ghoul again. Is that, if I'm not mistaken? No 2 drop, but we do see... Oh, no, we see Thalia come down. Thalia is a sideboard card. I should have mentioned I do have Joe's list. We can talk a little bit about what Thalia is very good against all of the enchantments and the burn spells. I like Thalia a lot. More importantly, Thalia just gets in the way. It's a 2/1 first striker.
I think she pretty much trades with everything.
Yeah, and I believe John just learned the hard way what first strike does as a mechanic, as he inadvertently suicides his
And 2/1 for 2 is pretty good. First strike.
Yeah, I played 4 of them in my Maverick deck in Legacy, and now we see he only has 2 Loxodon Smiters in his deck, and that's one of them. Looking at Joe's sideboard here, he has 4 Thalias on the sideboard. He's not playing any in his main. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Can he cast that? Okay, so John's not familiar with Searing Spear.
Searing Spear or Thalia's effect on Searing
Spear? He can't cast the Searing Spear because of the...
So unfortunately, this game looks like it's going to be over fast.
Yeah, it's going to be over pretty quick. Oh, we can see a Dreadbore. That's going to take out the... Oh, he can't cast it.
3 lands.
Can't cast it. Well, he's not dead next turn. Joe has 4 Thalias, 1 Collective Blessing, an Oblivion Ring, 2 Sigardas, 2 Rest in Peace, 1 Intrepid Hero, 3 Pithing Needles, and a Loxodon Smiter. He's probably bringing in the Thalias and the Loxodon Smiter in this game. He's going on a straight beatdown plan. Activating Gavany Township, getting in for 8 now. So John dead on board. Likely not going to be much more here. So we probably
pay 3 Dreadbore the Smiter.
Probably going to have to
and lose the Thalia next turn.
Okay. Yeah, he's dead either way. If he could have Dreadbored last turn, he could have survived another turn. That's the flailer that you can sacrifice to do the damage. So it doesn't matter. He's dead no matter what.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna...
Gavany? No, why not? Doesn't Gavin just...
Oh, he's gonna Selesnya Charm. It gives it trample.
Okay.
It's the correct play. Save your dude and whatnot. So that was a quick one. Unfortunately, that I figure that game might have been over quick, regardless of who won. Joe's deck can be aggressive. I know we talked about it, how he's a mid-range deck, but bringing the Thalias and the Smiter, he can be just as quick. The problem has been tonight that a lot of the players that are on 2-0 and 3-0 have been paired against they've been the exact pairings that they need to be, so that we always see someone who is just on camera. So it's been very difficult. But we'll go out here and see if we can find another match real quick. But before we do that, I do want to mention, since I mentioned it before the game, if you want to win your own playset of rock, paper, scissors cards, it's very simple. Just follow me at ZachSalesMagic on Twitter. I sent out a tweet during the round number 2. It said we're giving something away. So follow me on Twitter and retweet that tweet, and you'll be entered for a chance to win next week's drawing. So if you want some free crap and you want a fun conversation starter to talk about, if you want to start your games like a real man or woman, or indescript, genderless individual, whatever the politically correct term is, then go to Twitter and check us out. You can win free stuff too. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to step out here and see if I can find you another feature match. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, we have another match. So for the one particular individual in the chat, just going off to work for this evening. So thanks for watching. Glad that you could join us. And then someone else asking who won the promo. The promo was won tonight by a Mr. Excuse me. That's what happens when I drink that root beer. I get the burps. The promo Restoration Angel was won tonight by Michael Colazos, who was a gentleman that I have met over Facebook. I'm not sure exactly how he found the stream, but glad that he is watching. More importantly, glad that, well, I'll tell you what, you can feel free to explain who's going on there. We're going to fix the camera a little bit.
We are switching to a new match, and it will be Scotty Wright playing Omniscience versus Mike Miller playing a green-white tokens build. So this could be kinda. It's a little. It needs to be a little farther out. As we fix our cameras, and they all put playmats over our provided playmats because I guess ours aren't good enough.
How's that look?
Their playmats aren't aligned, so it's kind of
but it's
annoying
squared
at
up.
this
Yeah, it's squared up.
Scotty's playmat is just better because it has Nicol Bolas on it.
Well, that doesn't Nicol Bolas. He won that by winning, I believe, the...
He did not win that. He actually split and was given that.
Well, when you chop, you win half of it. So we are back with... Okay, so this is game 3. Scotty Wright's on the left. He's playing Epic Experiment or some kind of ramp deck. Omniscience. I'm going to call it Omniscience Ramp. I don't know if that's what it is or not. He's playing. We saw him in round 1 do a crap load of nothing and lose 2-0 in about 10 minutes. But apparently he's he's won every other game. So apparently we just saw him running bad. He is playing against Mike Miller on the right. Mike is where's the restroom at? It's all the way in the back on the left. Thank you. You're welcome. He is as we have. It's kind of funny. He is playing against Mike Miller. Mike plays at. He usually plays in another store locally. He used to play here a lot. I'm good to see him come back. I think he's traveling the same car with Victor.
Yes.
So that's good to see them back here. He's playing green-white tokens.
They just got a reliable way to get back here, and they said they will try to get back here as often as they can.
Excellent.
So that's
good to see some usual players come by. I had many a battle with Victor back in the days when Goblins was a real deck in Zendikar. Me and Victor had some pretty epic battles with his mono black control versus my. He was playing a deck that had Abyssal Persecutors and Mimic Vats in it. It was like his own little brew, and it was rough, man. It's tough to beat a Mimic Vat.
It really is very tough to beat a Mimic Vat.
Yeah,
that's why it is in every EDH deck that has ever been created. Mm-hmm. So.
Mm-hmm. Someone's talking about the playmats, which are also both. Oh wait, so Michael's, you're the Mug 00 there? That's cool. Michael won the promo. If that is you, I don't know. It's tough to keep track of everyone's both Facebook name, real name, Twitter name,
as I don't
Twitch
know anybody
name.
in here. I'm all kinds of confused.
I put it together somewhat. So congratulations, Michael. You did in fact win. You were the lucky one out of 25 who won our Restoration Angel giveaway. What are we talking about? Are you not familiar? Every week we give away we have a giveaway based on our Facebook page, and for the last few weeks we've been giving away promo Restoration Angels. There's another one you can win next week. Just go to our Facebook page, look for the post that we made in round 3, like our page and comment on the post, and you'll be entered to win. More importantly, let's talk about some Magic. Scotty is ramping really, really hard. We saw a Farseek into a Miracled Temporal Mastery into a turn. Is that a turn 3 Gilded Lotus or turn 4 Gilded Lotus?
It's either turn 3 or turn 4.
Well, it's turn 3 effectively because he miracled the Time Walk.
Which, at this point, he's got 8 mana, maybe 9 next turn, which is one shy of
in his hand is a certain card called Griselbrand.
Is it?
Yes.
He does have triple black.
Yeah, well, he has a Lotus. He has anything he wants.
But does he have the 4th black?
Mm-hmm.
Does he? Looks that way. Looks like he has an Overgrown Tomb. So he has the 4th black, and that is a turn 4 Griselbrand, my good friends. That is Legacy style.
I'm going to mention that on the Twitter.
If he plays it, he might not play it. Let's not get greedy here.
Why would you not play it? Why would you not?
But it doesn't look like he's going to... Oh, yep, it's played. He had to, because he's separating his blacks. Yep, there it goes. Here's a brand.
But Mike does have access to... Is Selesnya Charm the one that exiles?
Exiles 5 or greater.
So if that's what we're seeing here,
Yes.
yep. And it's a foil one. But he's probably... Is he going to draw in response? So that card that Michael played there, is that like, what is that, the Wayfaring Giant?
Wayfaring Temple.
Wayfaring Temple, let's bring that card up because I'm not extremely familiar
Its power
with
and toughness are equal to the amount of creatures on the battlefield.
Okay. So Scotty is choosing to enact his Griselbrand trigger before it dies. It is exiled. I don't think that matters. I'm not sure about Scotty's deck. I don't think it matters.
It does not matter. He probably should. I feel like he probably throw one of those bad boys in there. Burial Rites. Oh, and whenever it hits you, it populates. That's nice. I didn't know that part. I didn't read that far into it.
So it's basically a Keldon Warlord. If you don't know what that card is, you weren't playing in 1993. But, yeah, when it does damage, it populates. So, interesting card there out of the tokens deck. So it's now a 3/3. It was a 2/2, and it did make a Centaur token. So is this increasing ambition here? He does have increasing ambition in his hand.
He has
1, 2, 4. He has 9 mana.
10. I feel like Omniscience is coming. It has to be. That is 10 mana.
Yeah.
There's only one card in Standard that you're going to play.
Oh, so now we're about to see some shenanigans.
Nothing but shenanigans at this point, because he's going to drop Time to Fetch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So, Time Walk.
Time Walk. Fun times.
This is the point where I feel bad for Mike, because Mike just wants to play Magic, and Scotty's not going to let him.
This is the moment where he just literally takes infinite turns, but I'm not gonna...
Angel of Serenity clearing the board. But Mike, to be fair, this is game 3. Mike knows full well what's going on with Scotty's deck.
Gilded Lotus.
No increasing ambition, which is going to cycle for another increasing ambition, I think. Yeah, he cycles all of these because then he can flash them all back for free as well.
I think you have to pay for the flashback cost.
Oh, you do?
I think so.
Okay.
You want them in the yard so you can flash them back.
But the last one
goes and gets...
Oh, so flashback is not affected...
You better get a Bolas.
So flashback is not affected by...
No, I do not think so.
Another...
But this is only turn 1. He gets another turn after this.
Yes. Well, he's going to attack for 15.
Next turn. And what's he going to draw? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well, he has another Temporal Mastery, doesn't he?
Yes, that's what you get with your third one.
So you just win here, right? Yeah, Mike knows it. So that game was relatively quick, but it was pretty darn awesome. So basically we've seen what Scotty's deck can do. It can both cast Omniscience and just win off a combo draw, or it can ramp, do nothing, and lose very quickly.
You can ramp and do
so it is basically your typical combo deck or your typical ramp deck, which has a lot of raw power and also has the ability to completely crap itself. So congratulations to Scotty Wright. He moves to 3-1 after dropping his first round feature match. Someone asking why they're playing white bordered lands. I think Scotty's playing white bordered lands because he just grabbed he finished this deck like literally like didn't he finish it like 10 minutes before the tournament? Well, 10 before the tournament should have started.
Yes, he's playing white border lands as a troll. It's a straight troll.
Oh, okay. That is something that happens. Someone else was talking about earlier about the pre-placed play mats, or at least the ones provided by the store, and how they can get a little bit dirty. Actually, Stacy Lambert, one of the employees here, she did some research online and found out how to clean them properly. So all of these mats have been cleaned in the last 2 weeks, which I think is pretty cool. You can tell. Trust me, you go out there and look. You are exactly right that the community play mats can, in fact,
look terrible.
Yeah, they can get tore up, son. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about? I will mention this one more time, just forever. I should mention this while people are actually watching the game, because everyone quits watching now, but we've mentioned it before. We don't really ask for anything much from you guys. We appreciate that you watch the stream. This is fun for us, and we're glad that it benefits you all. But if you do want to help us out, one thing you can do is you can help us spread the word and sign up on our various social media forums. So on YouTube, you go subscribe to us. Everything that I've ever recorded, I have edited briefly and put up on YouTube. So there's over 100 videos and 11 weeks of coverage on there. Everything from West Virginia States to cube drafts, Return to Ravnica drafts, and mini standard tournaments. So go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic and subscribe to us there so you'll know when we put new information up. On Twitter, @ZachSellsMagic. Lots of lots of tweets. I don't fill up your inbox, but I will provide some interesting, I like to joke around on there, and I like to post information about the stream, and more importantly, we do giveaways on there, so if you like free stuff, and if you like a little bit of wit, and you like some Magic discussion, follow us on Twitter. More importantly, if you talk to me on Twitter, I will respond. If you talk to us on any of these things, I guarantee you I will respond to every single comment. I have done it so far. I will not stop soon. Facebook.com, that's where we do most of our traffic. So if you only choose one of these, please go to Facebook, like our page, share statuses, check out things, get involved in our discussion. It helps to spread the word. People see it show up in your timeline. If they play Magic, it just spirals out of control. I really enjoy, I'm on Facebook a lot now. I never used Facebook before I had the stream page. Now I'm using it a lot as we're joined by Scotty, right? You want to talk about your deck, man?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your deck. So that was very fun to watch. I will finish up real quickly here. So go to facebook.com/ZachSalesMagic. I put something up there every single day. Pictures, videos, links, interesting information. And definitely give us any feedback should you have it. If you go to ZachSalesMagic.com, it will redirect you to Facebook. And more importantly, if you're on Twitch right now, right above on the top left of the screen, if you click on the button that says follow, that helps us out a lot. It increases our numbers, but more importantly, they'll send you an email notification anytime our stream goes live. So if we have something that isn't Friday Night Magic that's unplanned, you'll get notice of us, so you can check it out. And if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, which chances are this late in the round you will not be watching on YouTube. I know how this works. Definitely go to Twitch and try to watch us while we're live. You can interact with us. We have a good time. I like to think it's fun. And then obviously follow us there as well. It helps our numbers. So go to ZachSalesMagic.com. That will forward you to Facebook. Get in touch with us. I will be more than happy to talk it out with you. Let's move back to the studio camera, as I am now joined by round 1 loser, round 4 winner, Scotty Wright. I'm not going to put your name up here because it's actually a ton of work, and I don't want to do it. That's one thing that I haven't figured out how to do. We got the nice new graphic package. This is our second. We've got our second group. I can't do this. This is a fun thing to do, so that I can check this out. Now I can't even see it. It's actually not that exciting. I thought that was going to be much more exciting. So Tom King wanted to tell you a nice deck, Scotty. So everyone seemed to enjoy your combination win there. So let's.
Initial question.
Yeah, I'm getting. I'm interacting right now on Facebook with the watchers. So yeah, I will respond. That's one thing I do. I know I talk to you guys on Facebook regardless because I know you personally, but I do talk to other people. Like, for example, Michael today, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but I believe it's Michael Palazos. I talked to him like literally yesterday, like I said, because he posted a picture of his dad's new car. I thought it was awesome. So if you want to interact with this, I think it's fun how the internet works like that. But so Scotty, let's talk about this hot mess of it. Whose deck is this?
I saw Brad Nelson play testing it on.
Brad Nelson. Yeah. Can we quit talking about your deck and tell a brief Brad Nelson story?
Brad Nelson story.
So Jonathan Wright, who was in here earlier in the night, just in between rounds, that is one half of the dynamic duo. That is the Wright brothers, he being the junior to Scotty senior. So you went Star City Games Columbus back at the beginning of the summer. Did you go down in a blaze of glory?
Yeah.
Did not do well.
Went 0-4, meant to drop, and had to play the last one, and I was like, well, maybe I'll get a win in round 5.
How bad is your day going when you screw up, when you lose the drop? I tried to drop and I lost that. But more importantly, Jonathan Wright, in his first major event,
Major event.
So he got paired up against Brad Nelson, and then beat Brad Nelson, and then Brad Nelson went on Twitter and whinged and complained about how lucky Jonathan got, even though he thought Jonathan top deck cards that Jonathan had been playing around the entire game. So I did pronounce Michael's name correctly. So congratulations to me for getting lucky on that. So let's talk about this deck. It's a Brad Nelson deck. It is not an Epic Experiment deck.
It's not.
So I was, Brandon, to his credit, tried to convince me that it was not, and I was not having it. I was convinced it was. But because you were also building that.
I was.
You were thinking.
The rug.
Okay, so you were thinking about playing
this. And then I saw this video.
I need to do this so I can. I had to shut this computer screen, otherwise I just stare at the computer the whole time. Okay, so you were thinking about Rug Epic Experiment. And then you found the last Angel of Serenity you needed to put this together. So now we're playing 5 color.
It is all 5.
All the colors of Magic, all the good stuff, and they're a spicy brew together. So let's first talk about let's talk about the key card in the deck, which is obviously Omniscience. For those who are not familiar with Omniscience, it lets you cast all of your spells for free, which seems good.
Yeah.
Also costs 10 mana, 7 and 3 blue. So obviously you have to get there. And to get there, I will pull out, as I will low-tech this, I believe these are your 3 acceleration spells. So to get to that 10 mana, we are playing Farseek on 2, Ranger's Path, which is the new Sky Shroud claim, on 4, and then Gilded Lotus on 5. Gilded Lotus also, and all these cards too, because they search for forests, or because they search for qualified lands, you can fix your mana as well as ramp. And then Gilded Lotus, that's like interesting, Brandon was asking when you had the Griselbrand, can you cast Griselbrand and have 3 black? Well, you have Lotus, so you always have 3 whatever you need.
Yeah, the 4th black. The 4th black is what I was confused.
Yeah, so that's, oh, it does cost 4 black, you're right. So that's how you're ramping there. The dig in your deck is it just these 2?
Yeah, 3 and 2.
Divination and Thoughtflare. Tell us about Thoughtflare.
Thoughtflare is amazing. After you've exhausted your hand to just dump everything. Omniscience, you just draw 4, discard the 2 lands that you're probably going to draw.
Thoughtflare is an instant.
Instant speed.
And I'll hold it up so you can see it if you can't, because this is very low tech. I will have is there any way you give me a deck list after the fact?
Yeah, I mean, I might, yeah.
Or just like whatever deck list you
rattle it off now.
No, I don't. I'm not going to type it now, so it makes it fun. But Thoughtflare very good. You draw 4, you discard 2. It is an instant, so you can play it end of turn. Very interesting card. So that is how you dig. And is that all the enablers? So basically, at this point, we've ramped a bunch. We've dug through our deck with cantrips and draw spells.
If you have to, you waste the increasing ambition to fetch out the Omniscience.
Yeah, you do have increasing ambition. We'll get to that in a little bit. But basically, you land Omniscience, and now the nonsense begins. So let's talk about the non-combo. First of all, you just have this guy, which even if you don't have any Omniscience shenanigans, Angel of Serenity, pretty darn good Magic card. You can win the game with it. It's a sweeper, basically. I'm not going to extol the virtues of Angel of Serenity. Everybody knows how good it is, so it's good in and of itself. So you cast that, or you could, of course, cast Brandon's best buddy here, Nicol Bolas, as he likes to call it, is a Planeswalker that screws with your day. And then you're also playing, because it is a deck of Magic cards, you are playing, of course, the requisite Thragtusks as well. Is that a 4 of?
4 of,
Of course, because that's the only number. Earlier we had a discussion with Joe Lewis about why he was only running 3, but then I realized real quickly it was because he owned 3. So that is the only reason you should only be running 3 Thragtusks. And then you are playing one of these fellas, too, which we saw do massive work for you. It was only because you land, I mean, it was just an old-fashioned ramp. You got up to 1 million mana on turn 4, cast a turn 4 Griselbrand, and then even when he was able to remove it with Celestia Charm, which is a great answer, you get to draw, you draw into Omniscience, you cast it, and then you go to town. So we saw you combo out, and here's how you combo out. First of all, you start with some free turns. Seems good.
Why not?
Yeah, you either have that in your hand naturally, or you start chaining these bad boys together. Tell us a little bit about increasing ambition.
Alright, so when you get the Omniscience, you hopefully have an ambition, and then you ambition for an ambition, and then you ambition for an ambition, and then you ambition for a temporal to take another turn. So next turn you can start flashing them back and getting 2 cards out.
We were asking earlier, and I'm assuming based on the way you talk about that, you can't flash back for free.
You still pay.
Okay, so that's an ability. That's not us casting the spell.
It's
That's
just
interesting.
Omniscience is just from your hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't have figured that out basically without that. So you're basically chaining.
Extra turns, it
Yeah, you're chaining, and that is the final card in the deck as far as the goodies go. You start chaining your tutors together to find more tutors. You have a super full bin, and you're taking basically. If you have one increasing ambition and an Omniscience in play, you take 4 turns in a row, basically. So that's pretty good. I think most players, if you can take 5 turns to your opponent's 1, because you get the 1 for free, you get your own turn for free. You don't even have to cast a card for it. That's a rule of Magic. It's a pro tip right there. So this is very fun, and we were talking about how it's a pretty standard ramp deck in the sense that some games it does very degenerate things. For example, take an extra turn and have a Griselbrand on turn 4. And some games, like both games in the match that we saw you play in round 1, you don't do anything. You have some mana and then you just lose because your deck is pretty slow. It seems to hinge pretty easily. You really have to have your Farseek or at least some kind of ramp spell, hit an early Thragtusk to stabilize, and then hope that you can finish off with the ramp. What kind of board do you have for this?
Sideboard, we're looking at...
Is this thrown together, or is this more thought out?
This was also on there. I added a few things just because of the meta here. You know, there's a lot of burn, so...
Yes, so and that is why you're playing these two fellows, I figure. Witchbane Orb, which is a card I think people forget about, you know, with the Modern Grand Prix and, you know, basically Stanislav Siska and his Eggs deck won off the back of Leyline of Sanctity. People forget that it did rotate, but Witchbane Orb does do a pretty good impression of that card. And also deals with troublesome curses, which I know is a huge problem. Is there anything else other than burn that because it basically it gets you hexproof, so you can't be targeted. Is there anything else that I'm trying to think of, like things like?
I see Jund playing Rakdos Return. I would consider bringing it in.
Yeah, they're usually only playing one of those, I think. Yeah. Although like Yin, who is another guy that played on the stream last time, he plays a Jund control deck that's a lot different. He plays like 3 Rakdos Return because that's one of his wins conditions.
It's just a meta.
He fireballs you, and then you're also playing 4 of the Centaur Healers, again another illusion to and you're playing 1 Cavern of Souls just against the control mirror.
Luckily, I haven't run into one yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's any out there.
There's a white, blue, red mid-range that I did.
Oh, Aaron. Yeah, he's undefeated. He's gonna win this thing, so it doesn't matter.
It's okay.
Yeah, have you seen his deck? Aaron is, we mentioned before, Aaron, the cards in his deck.
Oh, they're all foil, yeah.
Yeah, because they have some,
nice.
The Beckley guys have some sweet jams, is what they do. You've also got 2 copies of this game. Let's talk about Deathrite Shaman. Obviously, we know how good it is. On, in Modern. You know, we've been talking about that since start seeing the play in Legacy. So what exactly, we're bringing that in for the Reanimator matchup?
Reanimator, I brought it in.
Did you bring it in against zombies?
Reanimator, I haven't run across zombies.
I don't think there's any zombies out there, actually. Yeah. Michael Taylor is the only one playing zombies still, and he's shifted to junk, and he's also not playing in the tournament. So all of those things have factored into it. And then also on the board, four of these ladies, as Joe mentioned earlier, Angel of Restoration. He wrote on his deck list Angel of Restoration. It's very funny to go along with Angel of Serenity. So when are you bringing those in? So I take a long, hard pull off this AW.
I would imagine, I haven't played against the mono red list much, but I would imagine I would bring maybe 2 in, along with the 4 healers.
Yeah, you get
just
tons
get
of
the extra blink.
Yeah, so against the aggro deck, against your aggro deck, you just bring in half your sideboard. You just turn into kind of a control deck more than a combo deck.
And then I can take out.
And then obviously, and the last 2
play mid range.
And the last 2 are the catch-all O-rings. Which seem good. O-Ring is one of my favorite Magic cards ever. I just think it's well designed. It's replaced. So what are you? So we now you see this. Now you look at your deck. It's very streamlined. There's not a lot of one-ofs or things like that. What are you taking out to side in? Like for example, what did you side in against the tokens deck?
Just now, brought in 3 Centaur Healers, and I took out. Hold on, let me think. A Thoughtflare, a Ranger's Path. And a Nicol Bolas.
What did you do?
Those 3 things came out for 3 healers.
We saw
round 1. I was still a little unfamiliar with the deck, but I tried to bring in all 4 healers, all 4 angels, and an O-ring, and basically took out the Omniscience and all that.
So you just took out you just became the mid-range deck.
Became the mid-range, and then I said, after I lost, I was like,
that's not a good plan. It seems like you become mid-range deck, but you become like the worst mid-range deck.
I came here to play Omniscience, not mid-range. So.
Right, well, we did talk about that. You did chop the finals last week with your is it aggro turned into is it mid-range turned into is it control turned into blue, white, red mid-range.
Yeah.
That's the progression. If you start with rotation the first week and watch Scotty's deck every week, it did morph into his American colored Delverless is it with white. Now that's a great deck. I like it. So you did chop that, but I told everybody you're playing something fun this week. You wanted to have some good times. I don't know what's more fun than casting Omniscience.
I don't know.
It seems pretty good to me.
It happened to me Wednesday.
Unlike Show and Tell and Legacy, you actually hard cast it, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to make a note here to put up your deck list. So I'll be in touch with you via utilize various forms of electronic communication. Things that will be up on our recap post tomorrow on the Facebook page. Number 1, pictures of my beard from last year. Someone wanted to know how long it was. If you go right now to our Facebook page or on the Twitch stream, if you have it large enough, I am the gentleman who is sitting to the far right. I'm sitting across at the Dark Ascension. I think it's pre-release. You can't see it, but that is, like I said, that was like with 6 weeks to go in the beard growing. So it gets bigger than that. So I will post that. I will also, information on how to get your judge's certification. Someone asked about that. I'll track that down a little bit, no problem. Also post pictures of my dogs. Brandon, if you want to send me a picture of dogs, I'll put that in there. Scotty, you can get on that if you want to as well.
Yeah,
because I was telling you, did you hear earlier how I...
the nicest dog ever.
Only to you. Only to you. Did you hear the thing I was talking about earlier about how my wife inherited a new dog, apparently?
Did she?
Yeah, I now have a Yorkshire Terrier.
How yappy is that thing?
I don't know. It won't be very happy in my house. We're very big dog people, and like we work a lot with our dogs in terms of like training them, so it'll be fun. But it's funny. She went to choir practice on Thursday, and now there's a Yorkie at my house. So
nice. No yappier than your dog. Yeah,
I've heard. I've not mentioned dog, but I've heard tales been told about how it is not nice to anyone other than you. We'll also give some. Also give some links to some information to the art of Justin Treadway, a.k.a. Griffin Valentine, on Twitter. He's a pretty cool guy. You should just follow him on Twitter because he's a very funny man. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but he's a funny guy. Also, we'll get some information on Black Friday, whether or not the store will be open for that. We'll be having FNM. I imagine we will. Were you here last year during that time, Sky? Because I don't think you were playing here at the time. But
I was around, but I do not believe I came for Black
2 years ago, I know they did. Last week, I think I was out of town, but I think they will be here.
I was actually out of town.
And then we'll also have the deck list, all the deck lists that I have available. Scotty's, Joe's green-white deck, anything that I can get a hold of, I will post up on there. So definitely check us out on Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic, or just go to ZachSellsMagic.com, and it will redirect you there. So lots of goodies to be had, both in terms of fun, happy fun times, and quality Magic content. So definitely check us out there. Another thing, I will mention this since there are 78 of you watching, and we are running kind of low in terms of the number of things that I can talk about in one given night because of 55-minute rounds. Feel free again to ask any questions in the chat, as we are super bored at this point and running out of stuff to say. But I will mention, a few weeks ago there was a considerable push in the chat. One specific evening, people wanted to know if there's any way that they could contribute to the cause, so to speak, here at the store. People were wondering if I get paid to do this, or if I own the store, or what was going on. And the long and short answer to that is I'm in no way affiliated with the store, other than the fact that I play here and I like playing here, and this is something that they let me do and things like that. But this is not necessarily sponsored by them or in that sense. So people were wondering if they could contribute financially, and we set it up so that they could do that. That's not necessarily like a big push. I'm not begging for money, so to speak. But if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. If you go to our Twitch channel, which those of you watching right now should be there, at the very bottom, there is... there is something that said could not load, but there is supposed to be a chip-in widget down there. If it's not there, then I'll get that sorted out, or you can just refresh. But basically, it's through PayPal, and you can donate money through there, and all that money is just used to recoup costs of the equipment that we already have. I'm already probably considerable. I think I listed $250. It's about $200, and it's about $240, I think, is what it's cost me to put this all together. So it's not that big a deal. I only mention that number to indicate that I'm not just asking for $250 if people really want to give, and they don't have to. That's just option if you want to take that initiative. But that's where the money's going. It's just going to pay bills, so to speak. And then if I haven't monetized the videos on YouTube yet, because I know people don't want to watch commercials, but I might do that. And whatever we generate from the stream, we will be putting back into... Oh, that's another thing, too. So I was talking to a guy possibly about getting some, tokens made.
Really?
Like some custom tokens. Okay. So wouldn't that be neat? We could do, some kind of, stream-affiliated, promotional thing. So the question is... That's a good question for you guys. I'll put a question up on the Facebook recap. What kind of tokens would be cool?
Dragons.
Adam Vickers?
Oh, wait. There's tokens.
You want dragon tokens? You just want this. They already make dragon tokens for you, but I think it'd be fun to make some kind of like tokens or something, some kind of promotional thing we can give away with the stream. So if you have any comments on that, or if you have any things that you could suggest, feel free. Any feedback you have, I promise you, I will respond and I will take it to heart. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback and stuff like that too. I got a very interesting email I'll share with you guys. I may have mentioned already. There was an email I received this week, or actually it was a comment on YouTube. A gentleman sent me a note that said that he had found the videos a few weeks ago. He was a big fan. He subscribed to the channel, and he and his buddies would get together every week, like 15 of them, and play Magic and watch our stream.
That's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. They live in Nova Scotia, Canada. I believe his name was Nicholas. I won't give his last name in case he's not doesn't want that spread around the internet. But I don't know the details or whatever. But it's pretty interesting that people are finding this in a lot of different corners. We have received feedback from Netherlands. Australia tonight, El Salvador, Venezuela, Canada. Obviously, we get a lot of comments from Canada. The U.S., of course. I'm trying to think of some other places, but I'm pretty sure someone from Malaysia earlier in the week liked our Facebook, but I haven't heard back from them. I just think they're from Malaysia based on some context clues from the thing. But anyway, so anything that any questions you might have. We're starting to get rowdy out there again. That usually means it's about time for the round to be over.
It's about time for bed.
It is about time for... It's only 11 o'clock.
I don't know why.
Last week, we didn't even start the top 8 until a quarter till 12.
Aren't you glad I didn't make you play it?
I didn't. At that point, I was so lost, like it didn't even matter. But so we're starting to lose a little bit of... we're getting some love for the Aussies in the... I'd be curious to know exactly where they live in Australia. But, yeah, so if you have any other questions, feel free to pound them into the chat there. We will check them out. More importantly, we're going to take a break right now, and we're going to go out here and see where we stand. Should be back shortly with the 5th and final round. No top 8 tonight. We're just awarding prizes based on the standings. So... 5th and final round, we'll see who goes 5-0. Maybe we'll have the 5-0 match. I think it's probably going to be Aaron McLaughlin again. We'll see who he's playing and if he wants to play again under... so he lives in New South Wales, which was a long ways away from where I lived in Western Australia. But still interesting. Mm-hmm. So, interesting.
Be nice.
Yep. I believe that's another local player, Dave. I'm wondering if he can play FNM on Moto. If only we could arrange that, probably would get more